M. Alright, I'm Craig and this is Diary of an Angry Scottish Golfer. I'm at a different golf course today. I'm down at Craigielaw, which is a links course in East Lothian. And, sorry, I'm stopping talking because the greenkeeper's about to drive past me. Yeah, he's looking at me, oh Jesus. Yeah, people, I'm comfortable doing this at Rathel because I think people just know that I'm just a weirdo that films himself. But I'm at a different course. Anyway. Basically, I joined down here for the winter on a membership called the South Links membership. So you get access to the practice facilities, which are really good, which is a full grass driving range where you can hit driver and stuff. So I've just I've just warmed up. And what I'm going to do is you also get access to the little par 3 course, which was probably the main reason I joined, was because all the holes are like maybe between like 90 to 130 yards, and I want to get better at that range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and play 6 holes on the par 3 course. I'm going to hit 3 balls off each tee, and I'm going to see how many. I'm just looking to hit the greens because the greens are pretty small. I'm not bothered about putting or that because I'm playing an open tomorrow and I'm not really bothered about the greens. Whilst they're good, I don't think they really bother to cut them that much. It's just kind of a practice course. So what I'm going to do is going to hit 3 balls off each tee and I'm going to see how many times I hit the green. Oh. Manage.
It does do it.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Jump, a hand?
No.
You good? Ah, there you go, you cracked it. Cracked it.
Sensible now.
Happy days. I'll move it back for you. Cheers. What the fuck was that? Guess she's wrecking it. Anyway, so I'm gonna hit 3 balls off every tee. Try to hit the. Oh, please don't rain. Every time. 3 balls off every tee. Try to hit the green. PGA Tour average from inside 125 yards is 81%, which out of my 3 balls for 6 holes would be 14.58 shots on the green. So I'm going to aim for 15 to try and be a bit better than PGA Tour average, but it has just started raining, so banter every time I try and do this. Anyway, first hole is 120 yards. It's a bit windy down here. It's fairly strong, probably into off the left. Whilst it's only 120 yards, I think I'm going to have to hit a pretty decent 9-iron to get there, so that's going to be the play. A 9-iron. Guy just told me that there's a deer, so I'm on the hunt for a deer because a deer would be pretty insane wildlife to get on here. Hope he doesn't hit my golf ball. So yeah, now I was about to tee off and then some guy came up behind me and I was like, it takes ages to film me, so thought I'd let him go. Now I'm just looking for this deer. Like a hunter. No chance. No luck. If I find the deer, I'll let you know. Christ! Never mind. That was a good shot. Oh shit, sit! Sit! Oh, I was struck so well, it might be big. What was that guy about? The guy that drove through the fence? Things I'm working on today. Trying to avoid going and saying like all the time. I say and like a lot on these videos, so I'm trying to be a bit more measured with my words. It's weird now that I think people watch this a bit more, or I mean, there's like 70 people. That's just said like. There you go. Straight away, right off the bat. Now that there's like 70 people, fucking did it again, Jesus. Now that there is 70 people who watch these, I feel a bit more pressure to like act up to the camera. It's a bit weird. I just need to keep remembering why I started this. It's just for a bit of a laugh. To do it for me as well. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. To kind of just remember, like, to not deliberately act up to try and entertain people, because I think that's when you end up coming off a bit weird. Like, you end up kind of seeming like it's very obvious that you're just trying to be something you're not, and that's not what this is about. But yeah, I'm not bothered about putting. I kind of mugged off the greens a bit, but they're actually quite good. So, but yeah, that's not the point of the video. I'm not putting. This is a video on my approach shots inside of 120 odd yards. Down to 4.0 though, so 1.1 down on the year, which is pretty nice, I guess. But keep pushing on. So the second hole, 74 yards. Oh, that's why I said this. So I rest out on my dog. I've got a dog out now. The dog comes out in the rain. Chicken in the dry, dog in the rain. That sounds like an album. Dog in the rain. Anyway, this hole's 74 yards, which would be in this wind would probably be a decent wee 52. But I handed my 52 degree in with my 8-iron to Scott Gourley at SGGT in Edinburgh. They're really good club fitters, and like I've been in there so much recently. I literally walked in the door when the young guy Gregor was like, "Alright Craig, what have you snapped?" I was just like, decent. Yeah, snapped my 8-iron. So I don't have I'll show you this hole. So it's just a wee 74 yard flick. It's a double green, just up there, nice. So yeah, I don't have a 52. So I don't want to try and hit I mean, it's in a fairly stiff wind. I'll mix it up actually. I'll hit a full sand wedge and then I'll hit a pitching wedge on one of them to try and control distances. I think that's really important to be able to do, because good players can certainly hit the same distance with various shots, with various clubs I should say rather, and they kind of just alter the trajectory. So obviously if I'm hitting a full 56, it's going to go quite high, whereas if I'm trying to hit a 52, a pitching wedge in this instance to that hole, you're going to back foot it and hit it a little bit lower. Like I said previously, I'll show you the hole so it's a bit more interesting. Like I said previously on this channel, I'm never ever interested in giving out any kind of technical advice, because I'm nowhere near qualified to do so. What I will do is like say what I do or how I do certain things, like how I hit it a little bit lower, and then if anybody gets anything out of that, that's good. But I would always just say get a lesson. It's the best thing to do is to just get a lesson. Anyway, these shots. So we're a 3 out of 3, so 100%. So quality. First up, 56. Ended up hitting 56 twice there, because I hit it very crap the first one. I hit the green. I think I'm 2 out of 3 for this one. I missed the green with one of the 56s. But I hit 56 twice and then pitching wedge once. And I hit the first one really rubbish. And then I hit the second one, an even worse version of the first one. To be honest, in terms of proximity to the hole, that is dreadful. It was miles away from, I was going to that hole. It still counts, but it's pretty bad proximity to the hole. And I was embarrassed that I was chatting to myself in front of these people again. Getting a bit over that though. So that's 5 out of 6. Pretty good so far, but proximity to the hole is not good. I suppose it's a bad thing to just try and hit the green as opposed to try to hit a target. I probably should be trying to like hit it close to the flag or something. Well, 105 yards, there's a bunker on the right, and then the flag into a fairly stiff wind today. Pitching wedge goes 130 yards, so this is 105, but with into the wind, it's probably playing maybe 115. So I only really need to take 15 yards off. So it's like 10%. So just try and hit a 90% pitching wedge really. So that's the way I think of it. Like the easiest way to control distance is feel like you're hitting a percentage of the swing. 90% as opposed to trying to take it to 10 o'clock or something. I've never really liked that. Anyway, next shot. The wind's kind of picked up, so the first two were 90%ers. This is going to be a wee bit more. Or I'll probably just try and hit a little lower. Wind got up on that last one that I don't know, you might not be able to hear, but the wind got up on the last one I was trying to tell you, and then when I stood over it, it died slightly, so I thought, kind of halfway back, I was changing my mind about how hard I was hitting it, and then I didn't hit it as hard as I should have, and the third one ended up in the bunker. 7 out of 9. 7 out of 9 from inside of 125 yards. Not terrible. There's the miss, and then there's the two. That first one in particular was good. I don't know if you heard me shout for the second one, but I thought the second one was going to spin off the green. I should have pointed out, by the way, in between, like I cut these clips, obviously I edit them, and in between I do things like repair pitch marks and stuff, so I'm not being a dick and not repairing my pitch marks. It's just I didn't think it'd be very exciting. See? Not very exciting. Yeah, so I was talking about shit in the bed. Shit in the bed, such a phrase. Like, I got no end of hassle this week through like group chats and stuff, and mates winding me up about it. But what was I going to say there? Yeah, so I was just going to chat about that. So basically, yeah, I have shot under par before, but the difference between shooting under par the way I've shot under par before and that round is I've always shot under par at the last minute. Like, I don't know if that really makes sense, but I've shot under par. Dog. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Wildlife will always take precedent over my rants in golf. Rest it on the dog. I'm going to rest this on the dog. So, what was I saying? What was I saying? Sean Connery. Much money, bunny. Right, what was I saying? I was talking about, yeah, so I've only ever shot under par at the last minute, meaning I've been like level par for 15, 16 holes, and then I've fired off like a birdie, fired off maybe 2 birdies at the end, and then you're under par, but then you don't have a lot of time to process it, and then you're done. Whereas, yeah, on that instance, I'd gone out and won under par, and I was under par for pretty much the whole round. So it was a different experience in that the whole time I wouldn't say I was on edge, I was just very aware of it. And it was like, I was nervous for sure, but more like an excited nervous, as opposed to terrified about it all going wrong. And yeah, it just kind of made an arse of the 17th. My bad shot is a left, like I always hit. My bad ones, my body stops turning, hands flip over, and basically up the 17th and 18th at Ratho, there's just shite up the left. So I just done what I was doing all day, picked my spot down the middle, tried to make a good swing, felt like I was fine over it, like I wasn't terrified, and literally just hit a bad one, body stopped turning, flipped it left, went into the trees and was pretty stymied. On 17, wedged it out into the middle of the fairway, hit onto the green. I mean, this is pretty boring, this is me just talking about golf. Hit onto the green above the pin, and the greens at Ratho were really good that day, they were really fast. And when it was above the pin, I basically just touched the putt and it ran about 15 foot past. Missed the return, happens. Similar thing on 18, I hit a slight pull, stymied right up against the tree, and wedged out, hit onto the very front of the tier, and I had like a 40 footer for par, ran it maybe 6 foot past, and by that point you're literally just like thinking you've got a 6 footer for bogey to shoot 1 over par. I can see the 17th tee. I feel like fucking hell, this was all so easy a minute ago. and it's just gone tits up. But it's good. I mean, you have to learn from it, I guess. But yeah, this is actually the first time I'm playing golf since that happened. I had like PTSD. Anyway, next hole, 95 yards, into a slight breeze. I'm going to try a couple of shots here. I'm going to hit a full sand wedge, which goes about 90 yards, and I'll try and back foot it and hit it a little bit further, and then control a pitching wedge. I don't know if you can see me or hear me, but the 56 just ballooned up in the air and I missed it by miles, so that was never the shot. Pitching wedge, try and hit the next one's on. Pitching wedge is definitely the play. I hit the pitching wedge miles better than the other ones. So yeah, 2 on in this one. This one missed by a ton. So it just shows you, like, whilst it goes that distance, the sandwich can go that distance. As soon as you balloon it up in there, especially at a links course, then these are two pretty good shots as well. You can see that next to the hole. When you balloon it up in there, especially at a links course, you just get punished massively. Said we can stop saying M today. So I chatted about shitting myself. Oh yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned already about snapping my club, but I snapped my club in a rager. I put a photo of it up because it's quite funny. The point I started this channel was so I'd stop snapping clubs and voice my anger, but I have gotten more calm. Calmer. You know, when you say a word so much, it stops sounding like a real word. Calm. Calmanella. 97 yards from back here. There are other sets of tees. Pretty good. Pretty good. 97 yards. Learning from previous mistakes. No, it's not a sandwich. Come on. Pitching wedge, please. Pitching wedge, here we go. This is why I'm practicing like this, with the camera on. So, I hope you can hear me because I don't have the microphone in, and sometimes the wind fucks about with it, but right. So now what I thought over it, is to get my 15, I needed to hit 3 on there. I need to get 3 and 3 on the next 2 holes. So I put 2 on there. So now I feel a bit of pressure, which is good. This is why I'm trying to play these little practice games like this, to feel that pressure that I felt on the 17th and the 18th, and try and perform better. So we'll see how we do. Nothing's changed. Like it's the same shot it was a minute ago, but now there's emotion tied to it. So I need to step away from it, get rid of that. Nothing changes. Last one, I think I overcompensated and was like, because there was emotion tied to it, I wanted to make sure I got it there. And I think I hit it too hard. I think I've flown the green. But the first 2 were really good. So that's fine. I mean, that's what this is. That's why I'd rather do it here in a random practice session than get onto the course, feel that pressure again, and fail to perform. So I've always avoided practicing in ways like this because that feeling of failure is something I would always really avoid. Oh, I got the green. I mean, it stayed on. Again, proximity to the hole. So there's 3. I don't know if you see that one over there, right? So I'm counting that because it still counts. Although this is a big green, it is on, but it wasn't a very good shot. And for me, that's a failure of that performance. Like that was the pressure's on moment, and I didn't perform. So that's good. That's like why I'm here. And as I said, I'm going to be going around again. I'll keep note of how many I do, and I'll just try and beat it. So I'd class that as a failure. But for the purposes of this game, it was on. So I get to do it again now. I get to apply that pressure to myself again. So I've got the last hole here. If I get 3 of these on from inside 125 yards, statistically speaking, I am better than the PGA Tour average. Which, when you start doing things like this, you really start feeling like a bit more confident, or I'm trying to feel a bit more confident from this anyway. Bloody rambling. Next hole. This hole is 94 yards downwind. Torn again between hitting a sand wedge, which balloons and has a tendency to fade, or a controlled pitching wedge again. Because there's like, this is the pressure, these are the pressure ones. These are the pressure ones. I'm going to just try and hit a 56, hit a sand wedge, because that's pretty strong downwind. And it is 95 yards, so it's just like a smooth sand wedge. You don't need to hit it hard. Whereas on the other ones, I think I've tried to hit it a bit harder, bloody faded it. So just a comfortable sand wedge. Massively chunked that. Like massively chunked that. Literally hit the ground about a foot before the ball, and it's the same again. It's like that indecisiveness, because the wind died as soon as I was over it. I was relying on hitting that shot with the wind, and the wind just died. So I was like, top of the backswing, throw your hands at it to try and make up the speed. Fat it, really bad. So next ones, I'm going to hit that pitching wedge, try and control the pitching wedge again. Yeah, I know the first one's short because I chunked it. I might have got one. It was such a short shot with it being quite downwind and being a pitching wedge. I don't have, like I said, I don't have my 52. Because, maybe I didn't explain that. So when I snapped my 8 iron and I handed that in today, I just because I was there, I was like, oh, I think my 52's bent as well. The guy was like, yeah, no shit. Fucking look at your 8 iron. You obviously throw clubs about. I was like, yeah, to be fair, it's probably quite accurate. So it was really bent, so I handed it in as well to get fixed. So I don't have my 52, so I'm having to play manufacturer shots. Short on that one, with a big chunk, and then the other two, I mean, literally just ran over the back. So in terms of challenge, the challenge was to get 15, and I got 12, so 12 out of 18. Missed 6. I don't know what that is as a percentage, but it's certainly lower than PGA Tour average. Heading back to the car now, so what was I saying? I've covered a lot of nonsense today. But yeah, like I said, one of the main things I've noticed is like I feel like the reason why I was doing these videos initially was purely for me, and then I noticed that people started subscribing, and you feel a lot of pressure to try and be funny and be like keep people interested, which as I say, like, I massively appreciate anyone who watches these videos. Like, it really genuinely means a lot, but I need to try and remember, like, and just not try and act up because people are watching, because it's just shite when people do that, isn't it? Like I said, I really do appreciate when people watch these, and like, if you find them funny, like, I do try and make them funny. There's funny shit that happens, like when that Santa Claus guy was banging. I'm going to show you what he was doing. I'm going to go back. Santa Claus chap, there's no way he watches the channel, so we're fine. We are fine. What he was doing in his buggy thing is he was driving through that gap, like through the tiny bit, and he was just going like, you know the thing in Austin Powers where he's trying to do the 3-point turn in the really small corridor? There's a guy who's just going doo doo doo, banging into that. So funny things happen, but I think they're funny when they happen organically, as opposed to me trying to force them and act up. I never do second takes on shots or anything. I could have played there and hit them all on by just cutting, doing the thing again and hitting balls. That's not the point of that. That's not the point of this. The point of this is I'm trying to get better at golf, and doing videos helps me feel the pressure that I feel in competitions and stuff, and it helps me be a bit more accountable for my practice and stuff. Plus it's, I don't know, a bit of a laugh really. like I said, honestly, genuinely, really appreciate anyone that watches, anyone that subscribes. It means a massive amount. Oh, fly. It says 72 just now. I was just like thinking, if I went to play a medal and 72 people showed up to watch me, I'd be shitting my pants. And another thing would be like I said, I respond to every comment. If people want to see specific things, or if you guys are members at the clubs I'm members at, and you want to see specific things, or specific holes that you think, or any, like I'm open to ideas for if someone's behind this hedge, like about to walk in. I'm always open to ideas for new video ideas and stuff. Great facilities down here, by the way. Really is good. Gonna fall over. Right, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely weekend, and see you in the next video, which will be next week. Bye bye.